Everyone wants power, but the clever ones seduce it. There's a reason people still speak the name Cleopatra 2,000 years later. A reason Casanova is a synonym for every silver-tongued lover on earth. A reason Napoleon, barely 5 feet tall, bent half of Europe to his will. They weren't just leaders. They weren't just lovers. They were seducers. And they followed a blueprint older than kingdoms. Today, we crack open the forbidden pages of Robert Greene's The Art of Seduction. Not to flirt, not to date, but to command, captivate, and conquer. Because seduction, real seduction, is psychological warfare. And Greene gives us the war manual in 4 devastating phases. Let's begin. Phase 1. Choose the right victim. You cannot seduce the indifferent. The first mistake amateurs make, trying to seduce everyone. But the true seducer, the strategist, knows. Influence begins with selection. You must find the crack, the dissatisfaction, the yearning. Because seduction is not about pushing yourself onto someone, it's about becoming the answer to a question they didn't even know they were asking. Let's go back to Cleopatra. Caesar wasn't just a powerful man. He was exhausted, drained by war, surrounded by schemers. He needed something intoxicating, dangerous, foreign. Enter Cleopatra, not just a queen, but a myth in motion. She didn't come to beg, she came to fill a void. Same with Casanova. He didn't chase cold hearts. He sought out lonely wives, bored aristocrats, neglected heiresses. He listened for silence, then filled it with music. And look at the modern world. Why do we fall for charismatic cult leaders like Charles Manson or Keith Raniere? Because they targeted the lost, the emotionally hungry, people searching for meaning. Your job in Phase 1 is simple. Don't throw darts in the dark. Study. Observe. Find the person who is already seducing themselves. With fantasies, with longing, with unfulfilled desire. Then step into the fantasy and make it flesh. Phase 2. Create a false sense of security. People are more easily led astray when they think they're in control. Now that you've found your target, don't pounce, don't provoke, don't show your hand. What comes next is subtle sabotage. You're not trying to overpower them. You're not trying to charm them yet. You're trying to make them feel safe, while slowly wrapping them in a net of your own design. How? You mirror their interests, echo their values. Let them speak, vent, confess. You become exactly what they think they need. This is the calm before the storm. Casanova used this masterfully. He didn't leap into bed with women. He walked beside them. He listened to their pain. He learned their fears. He disarmed them not with passion, but with patience. Even Napoleon seduced not with his sword, but with his promise. He told the French people what they longed to hear, that he'd bring them honor, glory, a legacy. They trusted him, until they followed him to war. Think of Steve Jobs. Yes, a tech visionary, but also a seducer of belief. He didn't pitch gadgets, he pitched identity. You weren't buying a phone, you were joining a movement. The cult of Apple wasn't built with specs, it was built with seduction. In this phase, the seducer is a mirror, showing the target what they want to see. A friend, a guide, a safe harbor. But underneath, you are gathering power by slowly lowering their guard. Because comfort breeds complacency, and from complacency comes vulnerability. Phase 3. Send mixed signals. Nothing is more seductive than mystery. Now, you strike. But not directly. This is where you introduce chaos. With elegance. The flame has been lit. Now you control it with rhythm. Push. Pull dot. Give dot. Withhold. Heat. Ice. This is emotional manipulation at its sharpest. And it works, because the human mind craves clarity, but lusts for confusion. The moment you become predictable, you lose power. But when you become a riddle, you become irresistible. Think of Cleopatra once again. She didn't stay beside Caesar. She vanished, reappeared, teased, dazzled, left Rome whispering her name. Even when she was present, she was never entirely known. She was the ultimate contradiction, powerful but feminine, soft but dangerous, seductive but untouchable. In modern times, think Marilyn Monroe, sweet but scandalous, naive but dangerous. Her persona was a carefully curated mystery. She knew the game, knew how to give just enough, then drift out of reach. Mixed signals spark obsession. You give just enough to keep them hungry, then vanish just long enough to make them question everything. And this works in politics too. Barack Obama's calm mystery, his strategic silence on certain topics, made people project their own hopes onto him. Greene doesn't sugarcoat it. This is deliberate confusion, and it drives people to madness or devotion. Because unpredictability creates focus, and focus creates addiction. Phase 4. Lead them to the point of no return. Make the seduced feel like they are the seducer. Now, it's time for the final act. No more illusions. No more half-steps. This is where the trap closes, and they walk into it willingly. The goal here isn't to conquer your target. It's to make them believe they are choosing you. You become the prize, the obsession, the inevitable. They don't just desire you now. They need you. They are emotionally, mentally, even spiritually invested. And to walk away would feel like loss. Think of Napoleon again. By the time he crowned himself emperor, the people cheered. Why? Because he had seduced them into believing that his rise was their triumph, that his glory was their destiny. The same happened with modern media icons. Think of Donald Trump. Love him or hate him, millions felt like they were part of something, like he represented them. By the time they realized they were seduced, they were already too deep. This is the final illusion, that the target is in control, when in fact they're already caught. Whether it ends in love, destruction, loyalty, or betrayal, this is where the seduction is sealed. So there you have it. The 4 phases of seduction according to Robert Greene. Choose the right victim. Find the hunger. Create a false sense of security. Lower the drawbridge. Send mixed signals. Ignite obsession. Lead to the point of no return. Seal the fate. But remember, this isn't just about romance. It's about power. It's how emperors take nations, how leaders build movements, how artists, CEOs, and politicians capture hearts before they capture minds. Seduction is emotional strategy. And Greene doesn't hand you flowers. He hands you a blade, wrapped in velvet. The question is, will you use it